It's 6:30, right on the opposite.
Oh, let me get.
Meeting will come to order. We have a quorum. Please stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Be seated.
Mayor, can we wait for just one moment? Computer issue. We're recording.
Good? Okay. Approval of the amended agenda, please.
A motion to approve the agenda, the amended agenda.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Old business?
Public hearing on the 2019 proposed budget. Public hearing number 5.
Yep. Okay, we're going to have a public hearing on the proposed budget. Anybody got any comment on the budget? Okay, I'll close the public hearing on the budget and move on. Old business, council got old business?
I do, if I could please. Approximately 3 meetings ago, gentleman that represented Red Rocks Construction came in and he approached the mic on an open mic or a public inquiring about permitting and things of that nature on his project, and we said we'd actually look into it and see what was going on. So I, about 2 weeks ago, I went out to his, not to the job site, but to his office, very informal, feet up on the desk, just wanted to hear what was going on with his project and what he was basically wanted to have addressed, and no commitments, nothing. I just wanted to see where he was at and some of the, how would you say, accusations or statements that were made. I just want to hear his side of the story. Basically, it's a permitting issue, not permitting issue, but getting his inspection on time. Shared back and forth how the system kind of works to the best of my knowledge. He's not moving on over there right now. He's got other things that he's working on. It's basically it's his subcontractors that he's having a hard time coming back in here and performing. So I just wanted to put that on the record that I did have very brief conversation with him at his office. So that's where I stand on that. Thank you.
Any other old business?
Yes, I'd like to know the status for Amy Smith and her business license. Can anyone give me an update on it?
Penny Jo, you want to touch on Amy Smith?
No, I cannot.
You can't. Chris isn't here. I can just tell you that she has not passed all the compliance required of her on the building inspector, by the building inspector and the fire inspector. She has to have certain things done and before she can move forward. And she knows what those are. She was given all that. And so we're just waiting for her to comply.
Okay, the other item that I have is the status on the Nicholson Parkway, the industrial park out there. How is the funding going? The legislator that I attended, Lewis County Commissioners legislative meeting, both Richard DeBolt and Ed Orcutt indicated there is no dollars available, suggesting City of Winlock obtain a loan. John Braun also stated there was not funds available and the City of Winlock do not need additional taxes.
Okay, let me address that. First of all, Ed Orcutt nor Senator Braun was there at that meeting, only Richard DeBolt. I met privately with Ed Orcutt, and I met privately, well, with the county commissioners and Senator Braun, and Senator Braun laid out some stipulation that he would like to see happen before we move forward, and I'll be dealing with that this week. We still are on track. Any other old business? Council comments?
I just wonder when we're gonna get our minutes. We haven't had minutes for the meetings for November 26th and 2 special minutes.
You may listen to them on AV Capture All.
We're not gonna get hard copies any longer?
You will get hard copies when I have time to do them. We've had an additional workload. We have a person in the office that has had to take a leave of absence, and I've been ill. You will get them as soon as I can possibly get to typing them up.
I'll say there's only so many hours a day, and Teddy has been working overtime.
Which
and
I
not-
do not get paid for.
And not charging for it. She's a salaried employee. So you can only do what you can do. And she's put in buku hours and done the best she can. And I will back her up on that. She did absolutely the best she can. All right, no more council comments?
Yes. Council needs to entertain a motion to allow all individuals to enter a Winlock City Council meeting. It is the council's meeting, and the council's meeting are open to the public. It is against the law to prohibit the attendance of any individual unless they are causing a disruption in the meeting, not at the front desk of City Hall. Winlock City Council does not want to violate the law by continuing to this action.
I don't know what your action, if you're speaking of Mr. Hogue. Mr. Hogue threatened the staff, and that's a difference between being denied. He's denied access to the city hall, period, because of the act. And if you hadn't fired the city attorney, she was in the process of making a restraining order against Mr. Hogue. So if that's what you refer to, we haven't denied anybody access. Anybody here feel denied? I see you got in, okay.
I'd like to ask a quick, oh,
Okay, time for my comments. I'm just going to read into the record the things that we've accomplished in the first 10 months in this office. We reestablished the Winlock Police Department, which the voters asked for. Regained control and responsibility of the community building. Received grant to make necessary upgrades at the community building. Updated community building kitchen. Rebuilt apartment above community building. Updated community building for public safety. Constructed retaining wall to protect the library and museum. Cleaned and gravelled the parking lot behind the museum for library parking to free up parking on First Street. Cleaned up around the police garage. Regained control and responsibility of the plaza, making it accessible to all citizens. Reestablished the building department, hired a building inspector. Building department received 32 permit applications, 9 of which were new homes, 4 remodels of existing homes. Secured the process to fund surveying and engineering of the water line to I-5 with $1.5 million from the state. Placing conduit in the ditch line as work is being done to provide high-speed internet that will benefit the entire community and help make the industrial site shovel-ready for the EDC to advertise. Started process to fund the sewer line to I-5 in 2019 along with the construction of Mickelson Parkway. Removed and cleaned the burned-out house on Karen Street. Held citywide cleanup week at no charge to the citizens. Removed 6 40-yard dumpsters of trash, 2 dumpsters of yard debris, 4 dump truck loads of tires and household appliances and electronics from the city limits. Kept the library open and operating with expanded services. Cleaned trees, blackberry briars, and garbage from southeast front and southeast First Streets from the former basement areas of 2 buildings. Did appropriate structural research and submitted state-required SEPA Then proceeded to fill and level the compact the future city parking. Remove dangerous trees from Winlock Park and within the city. Secured Transportation Improvement Board TIB grant for concrete overlay sidewalks and gutters for Southeast First Street to Campbell Street to begin in 2019. Oversaw completion of First Street Bridge, monitoring upgrades to the wastewater treatment facility, worked with contractors to repave around the treatment facility on Southwest Mayor to Campbell. Repaired retaining wall damage caused by drunk driver on Northwest Front Street. Reestablished Planning Commission. Began work to update comprehensive plan and capital facilities plan that are nearly 8 years out of date and are required under Washington State Growth Management Act. Made contact with developers and built an excellent honest rapport. Worked with CIAW for all city building compliances. Continued to take corrective action on all findings. Secured energy grant from TransAlta and was awarded for solar panels for the wastewater treatment plant. That will save us costs annually. Applied for matching funds from Department of Commerce, which is pending, and will use that funding to replace windows in the community building and upgrade lighting in all the city buildings. Park Board has made significant upgrades and improvements to all city parks. Worked with Winlock School District to place a repeater or water tower to improve the communication between the school buses. Purchased late model used, new to the city, 1-ton 4x4 utility truck for the wastewater department. Swept streets, painted turn arrows, curbs, handicap spaces. Had Lewis County come in and do street striping, continued to work on the I&I project and receive funds for the county to chip seal Karen Street. Clean King Road, cut down ivy, blackberry briars. Worked with citizens to accomplish a street vacate that he has been requesting for several years. Office staff, billing clerk recovered $24,178.46 from past due accounts and abandoned services. Presented the prepared draft budget to City Council in October as required. Mayor set aside 1 hour for each council member every Friday before the council meeting to fully inform each member of what is going on. Made necessary updates to City Hall, painted, replaced non-working light fixtures, purchased new storage cabinets from state surplus, reorganized the office spaces for better efficiency. Worked with the state auditor and received praise for our cooperation. Called meeting with Benaroya and surrounding entities to begin construction of Mickelson Parkway and resume work on the industrial park. Worked with Cardinal Glass to help secure needed water rights and to permit their well. Made contact with Gordon Phillips to mend relationship with city. Cleaned the basement out at City Hall. That was like 3 dump truck loads. Worked with staff on several code violations to begin process of correcting all currently on hold due to lack of legal counsel. I just want to put on the record, council taking on themselves without legal advice to drop the lawsuit with Toledo for $27,000 plus. And in order to cancel the contract with the city attorney, they had to cancel the lawsuit. That is very bothersome because I consider that the city of Toledo still owes us over $27,000. Now, by canceling the attorney's contract immediately and buying out their contract, that's over $6,000. There is one little stipulation in the handbook that says council may not do indirectly what they are forbidden to do directly. I just remind you of all that, and I will move on. Staff reports.
Hi, Chief.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody. I have November 2018 police report with police incident numbers. For a total of 54 reports, we have 4 accidents, 3 agency assists, 1 alarm call, 1 animal call, 1 attempt to contact, 2 burglaries, 7 civil issues, 1 disorderly conduct, 1 drug violation, 1 found property, 1 hang-up call, 7 information reports, 1 missing person, 1 suicide threat, 11 suspicious circumstances, 4 thefts, 3 traffic accidents, or something along those lines, and 5 trespasses. for a total of 54 reports for the month of November.
Thank you.
This
And
is-
congratulations on your new son.
Thank you.
Park board update, Sally?
Well, it's cold and wet and the parks are quiet. We have had a request from the Boy Scout troop. The Winlock Boy Scout troop is requesting the use of Winlock Park again for their Klondike event. It's March 1st through the 3rd. They'd like to waive the usage fee, and the park board recommends that they have this waived.
We did that last year.
Mhm.
And they clean up and
Mhm.
that's part of their,
It was cleaner after they left than when they got there.
they left it better than it was.
They had about 80 kids participating. He figures there's been some reorganization of the Boy Scouts. They think they're not going to have as many participating this year, but they're still looking at 40 kids.
Are you asking
I
for,
just have to have
Yeah,
are you
approval.
asking
Park-
for,
council approval to waive the fee.
Oh, I motion we waive the fees.
Do I have a second?
a second?
Have a motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'd like to postpone agenda 7, the approval to move forward on the purchase of the shed. We're waiting for some information on security cameras. I don't want to get a shed up there without a security camera on it. So I'll probably be back next meeting, council meeting. We should have that taken care of by then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, I didn't hear the vote.
I just was gonna call for the vote.
Okay.
I need a motion to, table
Oh,
item
I mean,
7.
waiving the fees, the vote on waiving the fees. I heard 3, I did not hear 4.
Did we get a motion?
I made the motion.
Do we have a
Yeah.
second?
And I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
A motion to approve tabling item 7 until next meeting.
And motion to table it to the next meeting. Table number 7.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Public comment section, all those who've signed up, I will call you one at a time, step up to the mic. You're allowed 3 minutes to comment on non-agenda items. So the first one is that Craig Franklin, am I?
Yes.
Please come forward.
Good evening. My name's Craig Franklin. I represent CNC Investigations. And I'm also representing Rogers Keycard and Strophe, who represent Samuel Patrick. And I'm hereby serving the court papers on the city and the mayor. You want a copy?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Michelle Witten.
Good evening. I'm representing the City of Toledo. So some interesting comments there, but in the mediation report, part of it was that Toledo would still provide services for police going and getting prisoners and transporting them to court, and the City of Winlock would need to pay for that. And that hasn't happened, and so I have a
Michelle,
copy.
Michelle, let's stop, we're not gonna discuss.
And I
it.
don't feel I'm not inappropriate, and my
Well,
mayor's here to back me
We're
up.
not gonna discuss
So-
anything that's under litigation, period.
City of Toledo has not been served, so we don't know anything about any litigation. So I'm hoping that the council is now informed of what is going on.
I think the council knows what's going on. Paul McMillan?
City Council, Mr. Mayor, people of the gallery. My name is Paul McMillan, and I'm here to ask you all some questions about the 2018 police budget. We just got done being in a contract with Toledo for $217,000. Why are we paying $240,000 plus all the fees when the mayor stated in June of 2018 to the Daily News, and I quote, the mayor speaking to Rose Lundy, that there's 3 offices you want to have put back into the city. One is the police, one is the building, and one is the city council, or the community building. And your goal is to simply reestablish the autonomy of this city. That was your quote. At what cost to us does it cost? How far do you want to go and push people in 2018 to accomplish that goal? I mean, we came out of a contract with 3 officers doing 20 hours a day. And now we have 2 officers, one being the chief that works 4 10s. And we have one, and that police chief was hired with no credentials at $53,000. I'm not fighting that. He has 9 months to get it. So if he gets it, fine. What I'm fighting is the amount. You had $217,000. Don't ask the people for any more.
I'm not asking the people for any more, Mr. McMillan.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. Do you see?
Mr. Mayor,
do
you
see any-
are.
Do you see me
Then
asking
why-
you for more money? No.
Then why is the budget $240,000 and still growing? With all the,
With what,
the
sir, with what
with-
we were paying Toledo, that didn't include jail
That-
and the shared costs.
all right, $10,000 for the jail. That's $227.
Yeah.
At what
And
cost
all
does
of the
it
other
cost?
shared costs that the other,
Was picked up with
departments that they
Toledo,
got.
shared with Toledo.
no,
According to the chief at the time, Mr. Bruckmeyer, yes, it was.
they did not pick up any of the shared expenses to operate.
My
the city.
question is, with 3 officers that you come out of a contract getting 20 hours a day, now we have 2 officers,
Time.
one working
Time.
4 10s.
Time. Your 3 minutes is up.
Oh,
Even with your interruptions,
even, yeah, you interrupted him for at least 45
his time should have restarted.
Silence. Time's up, Paul. Please sit down. If you want to discuss this, come in and see me tomorrow.
Smoke and mirrors.
Timothy White.
I'm here just to commend the council for their efforts to try to straighten this mess up. I hope you'll continue moving in the direction that you're moving, and then I'd like you to have that as Mayor Pro Tem, and continue to find a different legal service, deal with staff, and move this community forward in a positive direction. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tom Childs.
Mr. Mayor, I'll yield the floor just if there's comment when my comes up on the agenda.
Okay. Rosanna Wong.
I'm Rosanna Wong. I live in Winlock for 55 years. I would like to thank our Mayor, Don Bradshaw, our council members, and the city employees. In 1 year, you accomplished a lot more than some people in 4 years, and I'm very proud of you. But today I'm here to ask all of us to work together to make Winlock a wonderful town that we can be proud of. With all of us work together and put our energy together, and we can do it too. and then with the industrial park, and it will give the new graduate of Winlock High School, they have a choice to whether they want to stay here or used to they always have to go out of town to look for a job. So it will be good for Winlock, and it will be improvement. And when you have people live here and the business will come, you don't have to go to attract them. When you have people live here, they will come in look for you. And I do feel that if we all join together, and we can make it happen, and Winlock will be prosperity, and also that it will be improvement. And we would wish everybody have any idea at all, just put it aside and let us join together. We'll be strong, and we can make it happen. So we'll be proud of Winlock, a place that we choose to live, and it will be a wonderful place to live. And then we will have prosperity, and we will be proud of where we live. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Long.
Joanne Parkinson?
I think Rosanna said it all. I want to thank you on behalf of what you've done. If it wasn't for Don, we would have lost probably our senior center. He's worked with the advisory board, and that means a lot to our seniors to be able to have this senior center. And we thank you, Don, for a lot of other things you've accomplished.
Edie Emenegger?
Okay, I'm here representing the Lions and the Lions Club.
Oh, is this still public comments, or have we?
You're on the agenda.
You're on
Yeah.
the,
Okay.
Do I have to start over now?
Well, is this public comment or is this your agenda item?
What is it, Sally?
Are you wanting to talk about the community building?
We want to use it.
okay,
That's
that's,
talking
you're
about-
on the agenda for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait till we call you the agenda item.
Oh, I thought you called my name.
I did, but, this was public comment.
Who knows? Who knows what I'm doing? I don't know.
That's all right, Jeannie. We'll
Okay,
get you.
I have somebody here named Joe, and I cannot make out this writing at all, and I'm not kidding, the
Let's
last
see.
name on there.
No? From Seattle. Joe from Seattle.
Okay, that's the end of the public comment section. Consent agenda, approval vouchers, $572 and $327.78.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
Approval of the vouchers. We don't have the minutes from the last meeting.
No, we're
So
not
it would
asking to
be-
approve the minutes, we're just the consent agenda.
Okay.
Do I have a second?
Yes, I-
You second? I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Did Andrew?
Andrew, did you vote?
I'm sorry.
There's a motion on the floor.
Aye.
All right, we have a majority, it's carried. Mr. Childs, first thing on the amended agenda, vacate his portion of Maple Street. That's you, Tom.
I'm just here, if there's any questions.
Could you
about-
stand up? It's hard for me to transcribe
Okay,
when I
all right.
can't hear you, sir. Thank you.
I'm just here, if there's any questions about what we're doing. I've been riding this for a long time, and I appreciate everybody, the office, the city's hard work at this, and I just hope it goes through. We've been at it for a long time, and it's really a house cleanup. so.
And we have an ordinance 1071 that's before the council.
Are there any questions for me?
Do I have a motion to approve ordinance number 1071?
A motion to approve 1071.
I
Second.
second.
All in favor?
I,
Jeannie Emenager, now you get to go, you're set, I'll sign it.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Finally done.
Where is it on the agenda? 1071.
Okay, you already heard a little bit. Okay, I'm representing the Lions and the Lions Club. We would like to have a rummage sale at the community building on January 26th, and we wondered if you could waive the rental fees. We leave the building clean and take out our own garbage and whatever else we're supposed to do.
I don't have a problem with it.
I thought I read somewhere that you have your equipment in the building or your
There's-
items or.
There's
that you-
lots of stuff. Yeah.
Right, that you want to put on as a sale.
Yeah.
A motion we allow the Lions Club to use the community building and we waive the fees.
Do I have a second?
A second.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
When is the event to take place?
January 26th.
Jeannie, did you get it on the schedule in the office? So we make sure that
I-
someone else doesn't already have it.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, if you check with me tomorrow, please.
Okay,
Thank
sure.
you.
Sure. Okay. Thank
I
you.
think you got it.
I think, thank you.
Well, I don't know. Did we get
No,
votes?
I'm waiting.
We're
for
waiting for two more
Okay.
votes.
Andrew, do you have a vote?
I'm gonna, can I abstain?
Yes, you can.
Thank
Ann?
you.
I want to abstain also.
Two abstain and two for, that makes a tie. I will vote for.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Motion carries. Dennis Gillian, wants to talk about Act Now Media, Port of Winlock introduction. Dennis?
Mayor, council,
Aye.
my name's Dennis Williams. I've moved here 3 years ago. When we moved here, I saw something in town. It wasn't good. There was no jobs. Local businesses dying. So we are a private business. I started a local business. I have a funny name. Some people have heard that. We're a private business with one goal in mind. We want local business to prosper in Winlock, Toledo, Napavine, Vader. There needs to be a bridge between the cities. We're not a government entity. We are not operated by the city, but we want to work with the city of Winlock. We are a licensed business in Winlock. In the state of Washington, Secretary of State's office has recognized us as doing business in Winlock as the Port of Winlock. We are someone who believes in economic philosophy of capitalism, a system of privately owned for-profit business. It's the only reason we're all alive today is we have a job. The Port of Winlock, we will work with private, public industry to determine the best approach to meet a business's needs when locating a new customer base because of what's going on down at the intersection was our goal. We are expanding on the leads. Using the port, we will provide clients with optimum flexibility through a top-notch web portal. Our web portal is designed like a Foursquare or Yelp. It's an online business directory. Everyone looks up something, they go to Foursquare or Yelp. We have the same core. That's basically who we are. I just wanted to let everyone know who we are and who we were not. We are not part of the city, but we are Port of Winlock.
That's
Well,
about it.
I've seen your advertisements. I think you're doing a really good job promoting all the communities. I think you're doing,
Someone asked me why now. I
Why
told them,
not?
I had to write that down. I said, if you're asking why now, I had the old adage that timing is everything. We sold our home from Arizona to move into this town. I'm an entrepreneur. Everyone that starts something from a grassroots is an entrepreneur. That's me. We're individuals who, some have sacrificed everything. If you've never cried in your pillow at night or picked up using your own capital to make a dream come true, that's what I'm doing. So that's all I have. Just an introduction. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Next item is ordinance
No,
10
it's Rodney.
no, ordinance 1070, 2019, City of Winlock budget,
Oh, okay, sorry.
first reading.
Okay. I'm fixed. Sorry.
I would like to pass on the first reading only. The council's position is to defund positions and amend revenues that were overestimated and to amend expenditures underestimated. But those figures are not yet quite complete due to unable to obtain sufficient information to compile the budget. But they will be available to the public prior to the final hearing on the budget.
Second it.
I'm confused on your motion, Ann. You want to pass it on the first, you want to pass this,
With amendments. The council's position is to defund positions and amend revenues that were overestimated, and to amend expenditures which were underestimated, and we don't have the exact figures yet complete due to unable to obtain sufficient information to compile the totals.
Then we
They
should
will
have-
be made available to the public prior to the final hearing of the budget.
We had the final hearing today with no comment.
we just had the final public here, but I'm confused, Ann. You and Andrew attended as the finance committee, attended about a 3-hour meeting with Teddy and went over the budget line item by line item, and both left there and said that you had no questions and you were satisfied. So I'm confused.
No, I'm not satisfied. The general fund account 001, the beginning balance was $66,145. The revenue received was $537,104. The expenditures minus $599,551, with the ending balance of $3,698.
Excuse me?
Yeah, excuse me.
Shoot, I just had it. You have it. No,
So you want, I don't think I have that.
no, I didn't bring mine either.
Nope.
Teddy's got it, she'll look it up.
A budget is an estimate. And the estimates that we do are based on history and information I received from the state. The estimated beginning cash balance for 2019 is $66,145. The revenue is $584,604, with operating transfers in of $2,500 and expenditures of $590,436, with an ending cash balance of $62,813 per the budget you were provided.
That's the figures I helped put
Okay.
together.
That isn't the figures that I got off my copy.
I have made no amendments to these copies.
We were going off of the one that you gave us.
The,
And I didn't
the,
bring
pre-
it with
the
me.
preliminary one you were given the 1st of October?
No. Darn it, I don't have it with me. Okay, let's go with the street fund, account 101. Beginning balance was 0. Revenue was $660,735. Expenditures $649,896. Ending balance $10,839. Is that what you have?
That is correct.
Bridge project fund, beginning balance 0. Revenue $1,028,000. Expenditures, and the ending balance is 0.
We don't know at this point in time how much is going to be expended on the grant this year because we haven't got the final billings for the bridges yet.
Okay.
It is an estimate based on the figures I have at this time.
Okay. Park fund, account number 103, beginning balance $32,000, revenue $19,400, expenditures $26,300, ending balance $25,100.
Correct?
Okay. Library fund, beginning balance $1,500, revenue $5,050, expenditures $6,125, ending balance $425.
Correct.
General building reserve fund, which cannot be closed out, beginning balance.
You guys approved it to pay for the roofing at the library. And we were going to close that fund out because it would have a 0 balance.
That was,
You were approved that, and I have it in the
we
minutes.
that's the
We closed
Timberland,
Yes.
fund?
No,
Oh, that's
no.
the live,
No,
That's just a small building fund that has not been used in the 8 years I've been here, so it doesn't make any sense to keep it on the
Right.
books if we can use it to fix the library roof.
Okay, reserve fund, account 120, beginning balance, park department, $98,637. Timber fund, $37,000, revenue, $3,700, expenditures, $1,200, ending balance, $138,137.
That is correct.
Account 310, beginning balance, $65,000, revenue, $25,000. Pardon?
60,000.
Revenue
Need to be looking at
$25,900, expenditures $5,000, ending balance $85,900.
Correct.
Water sewer fund, account 401, beginning balance $40,000, revenue $1,102,080, revenue adjustment $25,000, expenditures $1,044.56, expenditures $51,986, ending $25,000.
I don't know what you're looking at.
I don't either.
Account 401, the above numbers include eliminating, let's see, oh, here we go. At the beginning of the 2019, the balance is $40,000, and at the end of 2019, the revenue is $25,000. Even taking into consideration eliminating positions, we are still short $15,000 at the end of the 2019 calendar year, leaving an ending balance of
If
$25,000.
you eliminate positions, you will have to deal with the collective bargaining unit.
Storm drain, number 402, beginning balance $100,000, revenue $23,035, expenditures $22,884, ending balance $100.
I don't know where you're getting your figures.
Well, it all came off of the.
Did you take it off of the proposed budget?
We were working with
Did you
that,
look at the
flipping
budget?
back and forth. No, we were using the back of the sheets.
The
back of
summary?
Not the
This
summary.
summary
We used.
includes everything
That's
attached.
what we went clear in the back.
The summary
I did.
includes everything attached.
Right, but we didn't use the summary, we used the individual line
Then you were
items
looking
and
at,
using
you were
the
looking at
fund
the wrong
totals.
information.
Okay. And you say this is the final hearing?
The final hearing was earlier today.
This is the first reading of the budget. This is the
We have to
Okay,
do a
we've got-
second reading,
We have a second reading coming up.
but you just had the final hearing, budget hearing with no comment.
Okay,
Do I have a motion to simply approve the first reading of the budget?
I make a motion to approve the first budget reading.
Do I have a second?
I second.
I have a motion and second to approve the first reading of the budget. All in favor? Andrew?
Abstain.
abstain.
I'll break the tie again.
Mayor can't do that on a
Can't do it on a
budget.
budgetary issue.
You're in the audience, you're not up here.
You're breaking the law.
We have no legal counsel.
We have no legal counsel.
Exactly, you're blue in the face. Mayor cannot make a vote on a budget item.
doesn't mean you can't
Have me done all you want, but a mayor, it's illegal for the mayor to make a vote on a budget item, period.
Can we table this? Can we table
Work
this?
for us, we don't work for you.
Can we table this?
If we table it, we're gonna have to have special meetings. This
Well,
budget has
Ta-
got to
Teddy,
be
what-
passed.
Can't do something illegal.
We can do that.
Not
then.
illegally, you can't pass a budget
This
illegally.
budget has
That's
to
a
be
bad
passed
mistake.
by the end of the year. That means by December
Well, if we have
24th,
to,
because we have to
Yeah.
give
We
a
have to.
5-day notice in the paper before it will become law.
Don't pass it illegally though.
It has to be passed by the 21st of
I,
this month.
I think we need to table this.
Would you like a special meeting?
Yes.
When would you like to set the special meeting?
When, at your convenience.
I will not, I do not have evenings available other than council meeting nights.
Salad.
I have a life.
No, just don't even respond. No, the audience isn't running this meeting. Now, you wanna set a special meeting?
It's up to the council.
We have to.
Yeah.
You
And we'll have to,
You
we'll
don't have
have
any choice. We have to by law, you have to by law, pass this budget by the 21st.
Don't be pushed into it.
Set the date at your,
well, it's at everyone's
well,
convenience.
I'm open.
I'm open too.
I'm open.
You pick the date.
Me?
Yeah.
This is not really procedural.
Well, this whole thing isn't, Richard.
Thank you. How about, oh gosh,
December, what is?
I can't do it on the 12th. I have
I
doctor's
can't do it on the
appointments.
12th, I'll be out of town.
What about the 13th?
I would have to check your schedule. Do you have anything on the 13th?
I have a meeting out of town on the 12th. I don't have, without looking at my calendar, I can't answer that. I would say, let's tentatively shoot for the 13th.
That's a Thursday, I believe.
Yep.
Okay, we can do that for a first reading on the 13th.
I thought
And
we
then we'll
just
have
had
to
the
have-
first reading.
You didn't pass it on the
Okay.
first reading.
Okay.
So we'll also have to have a second reading, and it will have to be passed by the
Okay.
21st in order for me to get it in the paper in time for it to be legal by the 1st of the year.
Okay, so December 13th, say 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock's fine with
9
me.
a.m. is fine.
9 a.m.
Next item, Rodney Cecil, Water Sewer Superintendent, for water sewer update and request for funds.
How you guys doing tonight?
Well.
Should I lighten it up with a joke? No.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anyway, I turned in some stuff for you guys to take a look at. Did anybody have any general questions before I dive into it? So we're going to go through each item so you guys will have a good idea what's going on.
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, let me refer you to the project updates page. It'll look like this.
You don't have the pretty color on that.
No. So basically, I'm just giving the community an update. So the sewer repair projects have been doing work in the following places. So Shannon Lewis Lane, Karen Street, Southwest Mayor, Mill Street, and Solon Court. Those areas are 100% done, with the exception of the Handy Store. It's still got a little bit of cement work that's got to be done and a little bit of fine tuning. The construction crew should be going around and getting a property release signature from everybody who was affected by the construction. So I recommend that if somebody doesn't get that or doesn't sign it, they can call me and I'll make sure I follow up on it. We want to make sure everybody's property is returned to the state it was before they started the construction. The benefit of that sewer project is to remove I&I from our sewer system. And I&I is really inflow and infiltration. What happens is a lot of water and you get a lot of rain, it comes in and it leaks in through the cracks of the sewer pipe. It ends up going down to the sewer plant. We normally process about 100,000 gallons a day. In the winter, we can get as high as 2 million gallons a day. So that's not good. It puts wear and tear on our membranes and creates more maintenance costs. So we're looking at removing about 150,000 gallons of I&I with this project that was done under a grant. Anybody got any questions about any of that? Okay. Treatment plant updates. So the treatment plant is now running on the north side completely. We have a new PLC, and the south side's about 40% complete. And they're going to be finishing that up by mid-February with the whole process. The Pad K thickening system should be completed around February of 2019. I always say this, and I'll say it again. You should come down and take a tour of the plant. I hardly get anybody to ever do it. I've been bringing it up for 4 years. The best way to understand the things that I'm talking about and what's going on with the plant and what's going on with the way we do it is to come down, take a tour, and let me walk you through some of these things. Does that sound cool? You guys gonna take me up on that?
I
would like to.
I already did.
You walked through the whole plant up to
With
the
you.
membrane?
Last summer.
Okay. Well,
You were in Longview and then you called. You had forgotten, you drove up and he says, I'll meet you in an hour.
all right.
I
There
think
you
he's
go.
just lonely. He wants us to
Yeah.
come down and see it.
I need to do a tour. Okay? I just need to know. Okay, so any questions on the treatment plant upgrades? That was fully funded under a grant. We had no out-of-pocket monies, and we really got our money's worth. I mean, I got everything I needed, a bulk of our maintenance equipment. We had 3 or 4 pumps go down, lots of things that went out that we got covered in the grant. So we saved a lot of money, which is going to lower our maintenance costs in the future. So we'll move on to the galvanized replacement project. We're in the final phases of engineering. You should have got one of these, which lists the dollar amount of the grant and the areas that we're looking at having done. Does anybody have any questions about that? These are the areas that are going to be replaced. One of the benefits of replacing this galvanized is it less leaks, less water loss. We're regulated by the Department of Health to get our water loss down below 10%.
Well, maybe I did this one.
We're right around 29% now, down from the original high of 45%. We've got some work to do, but we're headed in the right direction. This should be going out to bid in January and should be completed sometime next year. And it's going to replace all the lines all the way down to Campbell Street in preparation for the new road, which is a great thing.
Yeah.
So that's already covered under grant, no match money, fully covered. Any questions on that? All right. the new well, the project's underway. As of this writing, the temporary road has been put in and they're getting ready to go out to bid to have somebody come in and drill a test well. This is part of the responsibility of Cardinal Glass to return some of our acre feet to the system. This will return about 47 acre feet. Still leaves about 107 acre feet due, but it's a step in the right direction. And an acre feet is 320,000 gallons of water. It's a substantial amount of water, which will help us fuel growth should we get a big influx of people coming in. Does anybody have any questions on that? Well, I'm batting 100 right now. Okay, so this well is also tied into our new water line. This is the industrial park, Knowles Road. Phase 1 of this project's underway right now. This runs a water line with fire hydrants and stub outs to all the other roads that go across the street for future growth. It's about 20% complete, should be done in the next 45, 50 days, I would think. And then once it's done, water line will be out to Knowles Road in preparation to get the industrial park, services. It's going to have, I think Toledo Tel's putting in a fiber optic line, so that's a plus. And then phase 2 is going to be to run sewer out if we get the funding, and then building the road out to Nicholson's Park, the industrial area. So I heard some rumors out there that people didn't know there was a water line going out there. It is a water line, and it's going to be a big benefit when someone wants to come out and build in the industrial area. As you know, if there's no services out there, nobody's going to come out there. So it's moving in the right direction. Fully funded, no match money from the city at all. Anybody got any questions? Okay. Cross connections. We're running at 100%. We're in total compliance with WAC code 246-290-490. That's the rule that regulates the cross connection program. Got almost no pushback from anybody in the city. Everybody's in compliance. They're testing their devices. Does everybody know what cross connection is and why we have to have it?
I do. Do you? They might.
What it basically is, it prevents contamination in the city's drinking water. We're responsible as a city to provide clean, safe water to the meter, and the homeowner's responsible to ensure that they don't contaminate the system. So we did a survey of everybody in the city to evaluate how they use their water. Some businesses had to get some backflow devices. What we don't want to have happen is somebody at house A poisons the water and kills 5 people down the line, and then they come to the city and say, well, where's your cross connection program? We don't have one. We're all liable. We're at 100% compliance, and we can track it if there's an issue. So it's taken a couple years to get to this point, but it's worked out pretty good. And the community was we were really good about accepting it and not creating a problem with it. They were good to go on that. Pending projects that I'm personally looking for is we want to loop southwest and southeast Front Street to get, because right now what happens on Southeast First is you've got everybody's meter and line running through someone else's private property. So they get a water leak, next thing you know you come home and someone's got your yard dug up trying to fix their water line. I think that's a bad situation, and I think we need to correct it. We're going to be looking for the funding for that to see if we can get that done on a grant, and some of this work we can do in-house, so that'll save us even more money. So that's some of the new things that I've got going that I want to try to accomplish. Anybody have any questions or thoughts?
Oh, you're right. So if you was to have that new backhoe you were referring to, you could incorporate it in this here then.
We could. One of the benefits of having the backhoe or the mini is we can run in 2 different directions. So if streets can do something, we can go dig our own ditch, we can do it, we can get into tighter spaces. Plus you can attach a mower to it. Part of the money, and I wanted to clarify this, so make sure we're all on the same page. The $25,000 that you guys authorized me to use for that does not come with a mower, it comes with an attachment. Streets would have to buy a mower separate. Were you guys, I covered that? Is that your understanding of what we talked about?
No, I don't recall, but it makes sense.
Yeah, so if we find a mini, we'll buy it if it's feasible for the city. We haven't done it yet, and then Mike will present his, his pitch for the mower. And so far we haven't found one yet, but we're still looking. We also have which isn't on your notes, a training program that I'm sure you're aware of, where we have an apprentice come in and train for a whole year. They do this free in order to get licensed. Our first year person, Susan, got her water one and wastewater one and her water distribution one. So she's now a licensed operator. So that's our first little graduate we've kicked out. And Jesse is our second one in there, and he is going to be taking his test here pretty soon. That's one of the best benefits of the city I can think of, because they're doing it for free and they're getting great education and experience out of it. So I just want to kind of give you an update on that. All right.
Sounds good.
Any questions?
No.
Now I gotta hit you up for some cash.
Yeah, this is where I was waiting for. That's who
We
I.
were waiting for that.
All right.
Yeah.
So I kind of, when I request my funds, I'm going to write down a bit about what we need. So does anybody have any questions on this mixer?
Maybe explain
Okay, so I'll just
what
kind
the
of read
mix,
through this.
what the mixer does and what it is.
Yeah, we have 2 treatment zones in the wastewater plant, and we have 2 mixers in each. And we are a biological treatment plant, and some of the biological bugs, I like to call them, some can move around on their own, some are just free floating, and they have to be whipped around to get to the food. The mixers provide that mixing, and they're critical. And if we don't have that mixer in there, then these bugs will not be able to do what they're supposed to do. Therefore, we violate our permit. And when we send it out to the creek, we may not meet what we're supposed to meet. Right now, we have 2 mixers online. One is give us a seal failure. We need to pull it out before it becomes you don't want a $2,000 problem becoming an $80,000 problem. So we need to pull it out, which means I'm going to have to put our backup one in there, leaves us with no backup mixer. So this mixer right now that you have a receipt for, or an invoice, is in to be fixed, and we had a choice between $69.78 to do a full rebuild or $15 grand for a new one. I've chose to go with the rebuild because they told me that the rebuild is everything. So what I need to get approval for is I put $8,500, probably go $7,500 to cover the cost of that, so I can give them the approval to go ahead and get it done and get it back to us. And then I'm going to be coming in again and hitting you guys up because we're going to have to send this other mixer in. I tried to get it covered on the grant, it didn't fly. So.
And this comes out of your.
I'm gonna pull it out of capital improvement. And so I need authority to do that, and then I go ahead and I order it and pay it. The pros and cons are, if I don't get it fixed and something happens and we violate our permit, that creates a bigger problem, and the ecology is not going to be real happy. We're required to stay up on this maintenance. So I do what I can to stay up on it and keep it as cheap as I can.
Maintenance.
So I'm a firm believer in preventative maintenance. So that's what I'm here looking for.
How long is the warranty on a rebuild, Rodney?
You know, they usually give like a 90-day warranty. We usually take it and put it in immediately and run it. On a brand new one, you get a year warranty. But what happens with a lot of these pumps, and some of them are about this big, is that we got to get them, we got to put them in, and then let them run to make sure that there isn't an issue. We used to, when I first got here, we didn't do that. And then we'd put it in a year later when the other one went out, and it wouldn't work. And we'd be out of warranty. So we put it in immediately when it comes in to make sure that it works and it operates like it's supposed to. And you can't get more than one quote because these items are pretty specific to the industry, and this is the company that deals with them. So I need to get approval to transfer. I put $8,500 just as it's better to have a little bit more. If I don't use it, I don't take it. To pull it out of my capital improvement to repair this mixer.
You just want some permission,
Huh?
I said, now this comes out of your.
Comes out of my repairs, my capital improvement.
So you still got some
Oh, I
good
got
buffer?
money. Yeah.
Okay.
Every time a new house comes in and builds, or they pay their hookup fees, that goes into my capital improvement. So we're sitting very well.
Well,
in that
then all we
department.
have to do is make a motion here.
Make a motion that we allow Rodney to access his Christmas present. I mean, the capital
Yeah.
improvement fund for the 8,500.
I second that.
I have a motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion's carried. Thank you, Rodney.
All right. Thank you guys for your
Merry
time. You guys have a
Christmas.
great night. And everybody out there have a great Christmas. Beautiful day.
Item 6 is proposed parking lot.
Hi, my name is Sarita Loya. At the last council meeting, the council members requested we bring some photos of this parking lot that's being put in. The November 13th meeting, you stated that the letter provided was rumors. So I brought photos to show all the debris that's being covered up with voids in it. Concrete pieces, debris.
What's that, rebar?
Yes.
Just so you know, I did stop by, talked to the truck driver that was dumping the soil, the operator. They kind of explained what was happening there. I explained your complaint, and you know, they pretty much said, you know, it's just clean dirt from the I mean, yeah, and
We need a parking lot here, but not against the building. There's no moisture barrier. There is nothing there. There's no setbacks. Any layperson can walk by and see this is not being done correctly. Compaction is not being done correctly. Nothing's being done correctly.
the operator told me the reason the compression wasn't being done is because it was still too wet to do it. I asked
Putting
a
that
lot
wet
of
dirt
questions.
against the building is not a good idea either. Without the owner's permission, without talking to the owner, without talking to anybody that lives there, I just don't understand. I've come in and asked for plans. They weren't available, or they weren't existent because the city was doing the project, is what I was told. That's not true. There should be plans that we could look at. Should have come to the owner of the building and let him know you were gonna put 6 feet of dirt against the building without a moisture barrier. That doesn't make any sense.
I will tell you this, that we, in consultation with our engineer, we did a SEPA report, found no significant findings. We did a structural report, and found out the structure was solid. It's over a foot thick of reinforced concrete, as you mentioned, the rebar, which we did take out. If you look up on Rosanna's parking lot, you see most of it there. What we cut up and cut out of there is down at the city shop building. You can drive by and see it piled up
You
there.
took some out, yes, but you still left a lot in there.
No.
That was filled. There's photos right there. You can look at them.
There's photos, yes.
I want the project to be stopped, and I want all the soil taken away from the building, put in proper moisture barriers, and a setback and drainage. There's no proper drainage. It's gonna be a sinkhole in 5 years. I don't think you're thinking about this correctly at all.
Well, I have an engineer's report, and the engineers.
I'd love to see it. Would
the
you share that
engineer-
with the public?
The engineer said that we're doing, how to do it, and we followed that by the letter. And we are not going to make a parking lot until after it settles all winter long. In this spring, we'll recompact it. And then we will put 6 inches of 3-inch rock on it, and then we'll put another 3 inches of just 1 inch minus on it.
It should be set away from the other building.
Is there an inspection report available on it, on the progress?
From the engineers, when it's done, we'll get one.
What about, as it's moving along, is it being inspected to adhere to what the engineer requested?
Well, yes, we have. Greg has been the lead on that. Right here was remove remaining wood debris and organics along east wall before adding fill to that area. Plug the hole in the pipe in the middle of the east wall with a cement grout to eliminate groundwater saturating the fill in that location. Move any existing loose concrete and brick debris in above grade stair structure at southwest corner of site over to north side of site before fill is graded to the north wall.
I understand, but has it been signed off?
Well, it's not done, Andrew.
Well, it should be going through steps. prior to, and like a standard building inspector, as you move along the project, certain parts of it get signed off, so it's documented? That's my question.
Okay. No, there's no call to have it signed off in steps. It was filled and we've done this right according to the engineer's instructions.
So we're doing so basically it's in-house inspection, adhering to what the engineer recommends.
That's correct.
So it has not been officially inspected by a licensed building inspector, is that correct?
It will be when it's done.
Well, they won't be able to tell
What about all
under the
that dirt you
soil.
got next to the building?
It'll
That
be-
needs to be removed. I'm asking that the project be stopped, that all that dirt against the building be removed and you put in proper drainage setbacks and do it the right way. You can't just put up 6 feet of dirt against a building. Are you hoping the building collapses? Are you trying to make it worse here?
What did you understand about the structural report that says that it's structurally sound to hold that?
What about all the water? The water from the dirt, there's no moisture barrier. There's already leaking there, that wasn't all totally fixed. The dirt you put on top of there is all wet. You got all that against the building. That's not an issue for the building.
According to the engineer, no.
What engineer?
The city
I'd love to
engineer.
see his credentials. I'd like to see this report. You never even talked to the owner of the building about doing this.
I wasn't doing anything with the owner of the building, and the owner of the building.
You put 6 feet of dirt
Where is
against
Jesse?
his building with nothing.
Where is
against
Jesse?
a common wall. Against a common wall. That wall was a common wall with the adjoining building. And that wall was a
It's not a
common
common
wall with
wall,
the
that's the
adjoining
building wall.
building. Yes.
That's incorrect, sir.
Well,
I'm sorry, you're wrong. I do not want that. I want it all taken away from the building.
that's not going to happen.
Well, then we'll see. Our lawyers will be talking to you then.
That's very good. Thank you.
It's unfortunate for you. You asked for it.
It's better.
Approval to move forward on the first, well, we've tabled that. TIB grant approval for Southeast First Street, authorizing mayor to sign. You all have a copy of that grant and the letter from TIB.
Just a second.
Is this one that's signed by Ashley Probart? So I'm looking at here.
Say that again, Ann.
Is this the correspondence that's signed by Ashley Probart, Executive Director?
Is that, does it say from the TIB, Transportation Improvement Board?
Yes.
Yes. One that says congratulations. That will be Southeast First Street, all the way from where the current construction stopped several years ago, all the way to and past Campbell Street, and that will include curbs, sidewalks, and storm drains on both sides of the street and pavement curb to curb.
This is badly needed to have this done.
Does that take it clear to the city limits?
Yes.
I make the motion to approve the TIB grant.
I second it.
I have a motion and a second to accept the TIB grant. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I abstain. I live on that street.
So I have 3, 4, and 1 abstain. Motion carries. Next, item 9 is Gibbs and Olson FEMA grant amendment for Tennessee Bridge. Now, this is a damage to that bridge from the 2007 flood, and it's been carried long enough I want to do that early next year. That's the scouring and cleaning up all the damage that was done by the flood. I have FEMA money to do that. I want to move forward and get that done. Teddy, we did get the extension, correct?
Yes. On FEMA, there is a 12.5% match, and that comes out of the municipal capital improvement per previous approval from city council.
Yeah, we have approval for that part. I just want to get the approval for the amendment because we had to extend it.
And they won't be able to actually get into the water probably until August, September timeframe.
When it's dry and low and dry. I know.
Correct, low flows.
You already made a motion.
I need a motion.
I make a motion to accept, to apply for the grant.
No, we've got
We
the
have
grant.
the grant.
All
This
we
is
need-
an amendment.
Just
Oh,
amendment
okay.
to the grant. I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried. All right. Item 10, council requests to hire independent counsel for the city council.
Council, if I could please, council needs to entertain a motion to authorize Ann to solicit interest from one or more local attorneys in Lewis County who practice municipal law in becoming a Winlock city attorney, including inquiring whether Jim Buzzard would be interested in resigning as Winlock judge to become Winlock city attorney. Ultimately, it will be up to the council to authorize entering into a contract with said attorney.
That is a direct conflict, of course. He is the judge. Is that a motion, Andrew?
Yes.
Do I have a second? I need a second, or it's gonna die for,
What is, say this again. What was this, how did you say
well, the
this?
original request from the council was the request, they wanted to hire independent counsel for the Winlock City Council. That is not doable because that is in violation. We can have a city attorney, but we can't have independent counsel for the council.
Right,
The
that's,
city attorney represents the city, not the council, not the mayor, the city, period. Since they have discharged that contract and spent $6,000+ on that, I have talked to the 3 attorneys that were recommended, none of them want to touch it. I have moved to Cowlitz County and I've talked to one that does the Castle Rock, he doesn't want to do it. And I'm waiting for a call back from the Kelso city attorney, or, yeah.
And Jim Buzzard is one of the only judges or attorneys in the area that can be a judge for a municipal court. So that leaves that position.
is it possible though to contact him, at least talk to him? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just.
Yeah, that's what the motion's about.
Okay, that's what I asked you,
Yeah.
what was exactly
Well,
what the.
that's why I'm confused, because the motion that was passed in writing to us was to hire independent
Yeah.
counsel for the Winlock City Council. And we have to have a city attorney that represents the city.
Well, what I read was it becoming a Winlock city attorney.
Okay, well, what it says though is a request to hire independent counsel for the Winlock City Council, which means looks like that we want to have our own attorney, for just us, you know.
Well, that's the way it was worded when it was approved.
This is exactly what it was worded.
But
when
if
I
this
gave
is
it
to
us.
go.
This is kinda like the corrected.
If this
so.
is to go search for another city attorney,
Correct.
then that's, and if you want, if we can contact
I'm
Jim
already,
doesn't-
I'm already doing that, but that's all right. I am I'm expanding that search far and wide, to see if I can find a,
He might tell you just no because he's too busy.
well, eventually we'll find one, the sooner the better, because right now we have no legal counsel.
And we need one AS.
So if the motion is for me to continue, because that is a hire by me, and I will continue to look, but if you wanna make a motion that we continue to, that I continue to search for a Winlock City, attorney, I will do that.
Do you guys want to do the same, something about, is there,
No, we're not gonna specifically look at one, I will look for a city attorney.
Should we table this?
Yes.
Request to table this, please.
Do I have a motion to table?
well, I really think we need to get an attorney as soon as possible here.
Then give me a motion to continue searching.
No.
I don't know what,
There's one in PO. We need to stay in the Lewis County area.
I don't believe there's any rule that says we have to stay in Lewis County. We can hire a city attorney, city engineers or from the Olympia area.
do we have to pay them travel pay then?
Yes,
Then we don't wanna do that. We can't afford to do that.
we can't afford it.
I will continue to look, since I am the hiring authority, I will continue to look for when I find a one, I'll bring a contract for approval. But without this motion, I'm gonna still continue to look, it's my responsibility. Council,
I still request to table it.
you can table it, but I'm gonna continue to search, it's my responsibility, it's my obligation to the city. We cannot go without legal counsel, so I will continue. When I find a qualified attorney that's willing to take the job, I will make the appointment. Okay, item 11. Council requests vote of no confidence of the mayor. Do I have a motion for that? Do I have a motion? All right, it dies for lack of motion. Council requests to lower mayor's spending unit limit to $25. Do I have a motion for that?
It's kind of vague. Request to lower mayor's spending limit to $25. I mean,
Well,
25
Per day.
per day, per, you know.
Well, it's kind of vague, but it's what you guys submitted, exactly, word for word.
I think there's an ordinance saying that up to what, 500, is it
500.
500, isn't it an ordinance, a city ordinance?
The mayor has a $500 spending limit. The department heads have a $400 spending limit, and the rest of the employees have a $200
So we'd have to
spending limit.
literally change an ordinance.
But we cannot spend outside of the budget. As long as
And
it's in
anything
the
I spend
budget,
over $500, as you all know, comes here for approval.
always has.
So does this die for lack of a motion? I think there's some confusion there. Okay, moving on, item 13, council request to modify office hours to stay open during lunch hours. I will say this. The employees are in the collective bargaining agreement. And they want to remain their lunch hour as it is, and they have that right. Do I have a motion to try to change theirs? You're gonna have to take on the union. So that dies for lack of motion. As that being the last item on the agenda, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.